Welcome back to Ted Mandra's new series, which we call the Weekly Market Recap. As we discussed last week, Nifty was stuck in a range of 18,100 and 17,800, and a break on either side would indicate a bullish or bearish move. However, the markets gave a breakout above 18,100, which turned out to be a fake breakout as it reversed from 18,200 and spent the rest of the week tanking. On a weekly basis, the market has broken the support of 17,800 and closed below it as well. One can see that now the next support is at 17,600, which is probably going to break anytime soon. A break below 17,600 would indicate that the market is going to be extremely bearish in the coming few days. If we switch to the 1 hour time frame, we can see the same thing. The market has broken the support of 17,800 and it has retested that level and is now falling again, with the next support coming close to 17,600. Any break below 17,600 would show that Nifty is now headed towards the next support levels of 17,200. If one takes a look at the Nifty option chain, one can see the exact same thing. If we look at the number of calls sold at 18,000, 17,900, and 17,800, they are way more than the number of puts sold, indicating that the big option sellers are bearish. Also, the change in OI for the number of puts sold is negative for almost each level, indicating that people are slowly starting to unwind their positions as they are also bearish for the coming week. If we look at the level of 17,900, the put call ratio is almost zero point 0.4, indicating that the market is going to be extremely bearish in the coming few weeks. Now, moving on to some important news for the week. The deal, which was the talk of the market a few months ago, the Reliance and Saudi Aramco deal, has been put on hold for now. Reliance has said that because of the evolving nature of its business portfolio, selling off its oil to chemicals business to Saudi Aramco would involve Saudi buying a stake in the company. However, Reliance has withdrawn this application, and both the companies have defined that it would be beneficial for both of them to reevaluate the proposed investment. A statement by Reliance said that due to the evolving nature of their business portfolio, they have both decided to reevaluate the proposed investment in light of the changed context. However, this is not really bad news. Reliance has said that it shall continue to be the preferred partner of Saudi Aramco for investments in the private sector in India, adding that it will also collaborate with the state owned petroleum and natural gas company of Saudi Arabia and its chemical manufacturing offshoot SABIC for investments in Saudi Arabia. In other news, Cipla has announced the launch of a new device called a wireless portable spirometer. On Wednesday, the company officials said that it has launched the country's first pneumatic based portable wireless spirometer for the diagnosis of COPD and asthma. With the introduction of this device called Spirofy, the company intends to revolutionize obstructive airway disease diagnosis in line with its ambition to strengthen its position as the lung leader in this country. India is a country which is plagued with pollution, and hence people have a lot of breathing problems. And Cipla sees this market as one where it can take a lot of share. A spirometer is a device that measures the amount of air you're able to breathe in and out, and the amount of time it takes you to take an entire deep breath. This device is used for finding out the respiratory health of patients, and Cipla has launched a portable version of this device. 50 stocks in highlight were mostly PSU or auto stocks. Coal India had a very bad week as it slumped 8%. The company reported a 0.38% fall in the consolidated net profit. However, total income rose 8.25%. ONGC fell 0.2%. The company reported a 330% surge in consolidated net profit and a 43.8% rise in total income. However, these moves are probably priced in as these stocks have been rallying the last few months, and now that the results are out, investors are finally booking their profits. Hero MotoCorp added barely anything as the stock was flat for the week. The company reported a 22% fall in the net profit as 9.6% fall in total income. Grasim also shed 5%. Even though the company reported a 40.6% increase in net consolidated profit, the reason for the fall was probably the fact that rising crude prices have put a lot of pressure on the company's operating margins. Even other paint stocks such as Asian Paints and Berger Paints have had a few bad couple of weeks. Moving on to the hottest thing anyone can talk about, inflation. Inflation in India has become slightly alarming as most of the CPI items are rising at above 6%. Prices of nearly half the items used to complete India's retail inflation are rising at alarming rates of more than 6%. Even though the overall number for the entire CPI basket is only 4.48%, a deeper look at the item by item data shows that 140 out of the 290 items that make up the CPI have had inflation of more than 6%. And these items are the items which really affect the middleman's pocket. Items such as fuel like kerosene, LPG, diesel, even edible oil, mustard oil, refined oil, groundnut oil, etc., and travel as well, such as airfare, economy class, train tickets, bus tickets, have all been increasing at alarming rates of more than 6%. Now, moving on to the final news of the week. As announced in the last Fed meeting, the US Fed is expected to slowly start tapering its quantitative easing program. This program is expected to taper slowly over a period of time. The expectations are that around 15 billion would be reduced every month on the current run rate of 120 billion a month of asset purchases. This is obviously going to impact the global stock markets, especially the Indian stock market, as this is one where the US is active the most. Now, the impact of foreign flows into Indian market has been reducing over time, and the direction of the market is going to be determined by Indian money, both institutional and retail. Indian money flow into equity has been accelerating. Mutual funds are getting record inflows. There's a retail demat account opening at increasing at record pace. And given the low penetration versus the rest of the world and a younger population with a higher intestinal capacity for risk, the question that arises now is, can the domestic institutional investors and retail investors offset the selling by foreign investors to keep the markets afloat, or are Indian stock markets going to fall as well? Another problem is that the reduced supply of money also makes USD scarce, and this has a tendency to appreciate the currency. And what this does is that the US stock markets start outperforming the rest of the markets, which mean that the Indian markets might have a bad few months.